Mr. Ed here, and today this is going to be a pretty interesting one. We're in the shop, as you can see. Good time, Charlie. He's back there. Come on, Charlie.
I'm back here.
Let's just let him know that you're here. Come on, right around here. There he is. Charlie couldn't miss out on the opportunity to see what we're getting ready to do, because Charlie called me up like at 8:30 last night and said, Mr. Ed, are we going to be shooting that video tomorrow? Because, man, I'm just dying to see what's inside them boxes. I said, yeah, Charlie, we're shooting a video. And so we are going to be opening up these boxes. And what's inside of these boxes are beginner Beehive kits. I did a video back in December of 2022 on a number of beginner Beehive kits that are available on the market. And there was a lot of interest in it. In fact, that video got, I don't know, 50-something thousand views on it. And by chance, just a few weeks ago, I had one of the manufacturers, Premier, contacted me and said, Jeff, would you be interested in highlighting one of our brand new product, our Beginner's Beehive Kit? And I said, yeah, sure. So I said, Matt, send it to me and I'll go ahead and do it. And when he sent it to me, I said, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and make another one of those reviews on beginner Beehive kits. So I contacted a number of other manufacturers, and they sent me their kits to be included in the comparison. So what we're going to be doing this morning is we're going to be unboxing these things, assembling them. I'm going to be showing you what I think are some of the finer points of them. And then passing that information on to you. Now, all of the manufacturer of these boxes, if you're interested, go to the description in this video, and I will give you their addresses. And as far as the breakdown of the prices, you can go to the websites and do it, but I'll include that at the end of this video. And also, at the end of the video, I'll show you them all assembled and ready to go. So by the grace of God, it'll take more than one shooting for this, so Charlie may have to come back. But we'll get these things pretty much assembled today, and I can give you an accounting of my opinion of the boxes for beginner Beehive kit. Now, I will say this. In this comparison, I am only using Langstroth hives, right? Well, that isn't the only choice that is available to beekeepers to house bees in. But for the purpose of this video, it is just Langstroth hives. And in the future, I will be shooting another video on another type of beehive, the horizontal hive or long hive, and just to give just a broader idea of what's available to beekeepers. So, but for this video, it's just Langstroth hives and what the manufacturers have to offer. And I'll tell you, so this one right here is from Premier Bee Supplies. This one right here is from Foxhound Bee Company. This one right here is from Better Bee. And this one right here is from Hive IQ. And I really am excited to show you the one on the Hive IQ, because what their presentation of a Langstroth version of their product is very interesting, and I did want to include it in this comparison. So we're going to go ahead and start moving these boxes over to the table and start opening them up and showing you what's inside of these girls. Ready, Charlie?
Ready to go.
All right, let's do it. Now, because Premier was the first one to really prompt me to do this little video, I'm going to start off with theirs. And in the video that I did back in December of 2022, Premier did not have a kit. It was actually at that point they were just about ready to go into production of a kit. So it's taken almost 2 years, before from idea to actually here it is, their kit that they've assembled. So let's open it up and find out what you're going to get when you order a Premier Beehive kit. Now, I don't know anything what's inside of these boxes. I don't know, so I'm going to have to open them up one at a time. and I don't even know if they're assembled or not. I'm going to go ahead and move this box off of here for right now. Give us a little bit more space on the table. And look at that. So, man, that's what I kind of suspected, that this is what was going on. When you buy the Premier kit, look at this. It comes assembled. Frames assembled. That's something. Now, look. I'm looking on.
Were they waxed?
Oh yeah. No, these are not. These aren't. I don't know. There's some wax on them. I feel wax on them, but these are the pure frames that Premier makes. They make the frame. They also make the foundation. It's all unique to Premier Bee products. And for most of you all that watch my videos, you know that I'm a big fan of the Premier frames. In fact, that's what I use for almost all of our bee supplies, getting our frames. So that's a honey super right there. It's a medium. Then the other item in this box, if I can get it out, you're going to get your solid bottom board, entrance reducer, an inner cover with a little lip on it, and a telescoping cover. And let me mention that. So on the bottom board, they use a sheet of plywood right there, and then just trim around it. It's a piece of Luan here with wood on that side, and then on the lid itself, it's wood, plywood. Probably, I don't know. It's probably 1/2-inch plywood, and then a really nice lid on top of that. Very nice. All right, so that's in the first box. All right, let's open up that second box and see what is inside of that. My guess, and I'm sure yours as well, it's going to be a couple of assembled deeps. Might be a better way to do it. I tell you, you gotta love the fact that these come assembled. That is beautiful. Now, one thing that I love about the Pure boxes is the joinery of them. So they use a dovetail. It's actually, this is a furniture joint. They're the only ones in the business that use this type of joint. So the others use dovetail, but this is a dovetail that it's a furniture joint, and they're small. And what's really great about this type of joinery right here is the fact that you have less end grain. I don't remember the exact number. Maybe 26% less end grain showing as opposed to other manufactured boxes that finger joints or dovetail joints. So the less end grain that's exposed, less chance of capillary action of the wood drawing in water from the outside. But regardless of that, all these are going to get wax dipped, and that'll take care of that. And again, the pure frames, and these are, Charlie, these are coated. These are wax coated as well. So that one had the frame in it, but the other ones don't. So we'll get this on the side. Take out the other box. Because now remember, it is a kit. So they do package that thing tight.
Well, it's one way to get them all out of the box. Let's just dump it.
Yeah, they're just hard to kind of get out of there, Charles. But again, wax frames, pure frames, wax foundations, and
Mr. Ed's going to have to get in the box.
and the pure boxes. I do love these boxes. In fact, I will say this. I just ordered a whole pallet of these boxes, 150 boxes that we will be assembling and then in a future video using Brian's wax dipping operation. We're going to be wax dipping all of this stuff.
That ought to be interesting.
Yeah. So let's assemble this thing and put it on the side, Charlie.
Oh, I noticed one thing that you didn't mention, the handles, the lifting handles are really nice.
Yeah, they
made them
that's
larger.
one of the deals about Pure is this. The handle itself is larger, and it really does.
I think that'll work real good with our lifter that you have, the battery-operated lifter.
It definitely will. All right, so let me put all this stuff together, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Now here's the assembled, the Beehive assembled part of it, since it already came assembled. I'd like to make a couple other points mention. As beginner Beehive kits go, or even as for beginner beehives, generally in your when you first get your bees, you're only going to be using one of the supers initially, and to get the other supers, your other deep for your brood, and then your medium for your honey supers, these are items that you're going to need down the road. So initially you're just going to need the one box or one deep box, and these deep boxes come either in 8 or 10 frame, and all of the ones that I'm using in this comparison, well, most of them are 10 frames. That's the style that I use, 10 frame bee boxes, and I use a 10 frame double brood box for my brood chambers, and then I go on with my honey supers. But you're not even going to use initially the second brood box or the honey super. First year you'll probably get into your second brood box, but I'm not saying it's impossible, but to get into your honey production in the first year, it's unusual. Not impossible, but you know, sometimes you'll get lucky and get some good bees, and you'll get honey out the first year. So this is what their kit includes. One thing I did notice when I was putting these frames together in the Pure frames, they did make a good improvement from their past ones, and that is they've enlarged the grooves for your plastic foundations to go in, particularly in the bottom, but as well as in the top. And the other nice thing about these frames, that they are all glued, and they use staples instead of nails, which is I'm a big fan of that. The other thing about the Premier bee products, it's all U.S. sourced and made. All these are made in South Dakota, and that's a very good selling point for them, that it's all all American stuff right here. There's no Chinese stuff in this stuff at all. So that's the price. Now, as far as the price goes, I am not really sure of it. When I contacted Matt, he did tell me the price. I just don't remember it. And if my memory serves me right, it was in the neighborhood of about $280 or $290 for this kit complete. Now, one thing I did notice is that in the kit they do not include a queen excluder, which is placed between the brood boxes and the honey super. But other than that and the exact price, I don't know what it is. In fact, because this item is so new, I didn't even find it on their web page. So I'm sure that they will be addressing that issue, and hopefully by the time I get this video done, I'll know the exact price on this. But I know it's around $270 to $300, something like that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we'll get to our next one, Charlie. I forgot to mention when I assembled this that Matt had also sent me a little card talking about their product, and he says, and Matt is the guy I always talk to over at Premier, even though I know the owner as well, Jeff, but Matt is the guy I deal with. And Matt says, "Hey, Mr. Ed, I'm pleased to provide you with a sample of our latest offering at Premier, a complete hive kit. This top quality, fully assembled, and completely priced for American hobby beekeepers. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Appreciate you, Matthew. P.S. Everything sourced and made in the USA." Thank you, Matt, and thank you for sending that as well. Our next
victim
bee box is from the Foxhound Bee Company, and they're located in Birmingham, Alabama, and they have a rather unique box in the sense that what it's made of. Now, I didn't say it, but for the Premier box, they use pine. That's pine, or it could be fir. I don't know which one exactly, which is what most of the bee boxes are made out of. But Foxhound has decided to go a unique route, which is one of the reasons I'm happy to do their hive. Look at this, it comes really nicely wrapped, well protected. And the first thing, let's see, they wrote me a letter. Look at that, Charlie.
Oh, put that on the wall.
Oh yeah, that's going on the wall.
That's definitely going on the wall. Nice.
And a little letter. It says, "Hello, hi Mr. Harchoff. Thanks for requesting to use one of our Foxhound Bee Company Cypress hive kits for your next hive kit review video. We have sent you our 10-frame double deep starter hive kit. I want to include this note to also give you a good list of bullet points that will make our hive kits stand out from others on the market. We offer 6 kit configurations, 8-frame and 10-frame, in deep, medium, and triple medium, that can be ordered unassembled, assembled, or painted. All our cypress wood comes from and is cut in the USA. Durable and long-lasting cypress wood for boxes and all other external components. We don't offer low commercial grade options. All our wood is selected to be free of large knots and defects. All our cypress wood is greater than 3/4 of an inch thick. If ordered assembled, boxed, or stapled together at all joints with HD 2-inch staples, 36 staples for a deep and 24 for a medium. Beeline grooved wooden frames, heavy-duty wooden frames with 7/16 thick side bars. If kits are ordered, assembled, frames are glued and stapled. Acorn double waxed black plastic foundations. They use Acorn, which is another great manufacturer of foundation. I used Acorn for years before going over to Premier, and Acorn is another great manufacturer of hive foundation. A heavy beeswax coated sprayed on both sides of the foundation. Black foundation makes it easier, especially for beginners, to read the comb and see eggs and larvae. A screen bottom board, great for observing mite drops or catching hive beetles that fall from the hive. Our screen bottom boards are made with a slot in the back that accepts our oil pan trap, sold separately, for killing small hive beetles or catching varroa mite drops. We also offer a varroa mite board with a grid pattern for counting mite drops. You can also use your own flat mite board cut to size that fits in the slots. Metal capped telescoping covering, completely made of cypress and capped on the top in partial size with a white aluminum metal cap. Metal cap is greater for writing notes on with a queen marking pen. The inner cover, complete solid edges that can be notched or slotted by the beekeeper if desired. We are transitioning so all our inner covers have 70 millimeter holes, so top feeding with mason jars is much easier. Wooden entrance reducer. Cypress wooden reducer includes large and small entrance slots to give the beekeepers multiple options. Foxhound Bee Company and others Foxhound Bee Company and others standard front entrance feeders will also slide into the large entrance. Thank you again for all here, and to hope to see you at Navi. Brian Booth, Operation Manager, Head Beekeeper, Foxhound Bee Company. Thank you so much, Brian. So let's open it up and see what is so special about the Foxhound Beehive. Let's see what they sent us. I'm assuming these are frames, the sidebars, the plastic foundations. I don't know what that is, Charlie. Here we have our inner cover, like you said, cypress sides, and they have a tenon cut on this side piece right here that goes through this piece right here, so you can see the tenon all the way on both sides. Makes it very stable on both sides. And then there's a groove in the edges of the board that the plywood panel sits in, and that is heavy duty plywood right there. And like he said it's already cut for the feeders right there. So that's really nice. Their telescoping cover, very nice. Look at that. Cypress, all cypress. This is all wood, no plywood. Cypress all the way around. The unique thing about cypress, it has properties, natural properties in it that the wood resists decay. Not that it's impervious to water rot, but it resists it. As a woodworker for over, I don't know how many years, I began woodworking. My father was a cabinet maker, and he taught me the trade, so that was when I was 14 years old. So that's it's a lot of years ago, 60-something years ago, no, 50-something years ago that I was a woodworker. So I've worked with cypress my entire life. Even today, we still use cypress as one of the materials that we use to build our caskets here at the Abbey. So I'm a big fan of cypress. And then, look at that, the screen bottom board, which is also cypress, very nice. And then there's the slots. You can see the slots where the plastic board will slide into. And then and the rest of it are the sides of the box. So I'm pulling all these things out.
I can see as a child you didn't care where the Christmas wrappings went.
That's not important, Charlie. We got to get the goods. We got to get the goods.
Getting to the goodies.
There are all of our pieces for our boxes, and they're not kidding. This is a select grade of cypress right here. There is absolutely no knots in any of this wood. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna put this thing together right now. Wait. Before we do that, let's open this up.
Yeah, we didn't open the rest of the present.
To find out what, because I know these are side frames, and we're not going to assemble the frames, and we're not going to do that. I just didn't know what this part was right here.
They had that well
I'll
packaged.
tell you, it's a very, very good job. Oh, these are just the top bars, and the top bars and the bottom bars. Yeah, that's what's in these. Now these are pine. This is not cypress. But most frames are made of pine. So these are the frames. These are the wooden parts of the frames, the top, bottom, the sides, and the plastic foundation. Let's open one of these, because he said that these were acorn foundations. And I know those, I opened up the wooden one, Charlie. And these, as you can see, these are heavily waxed. You can see the wax in them. So for the purpose of the video, I'm not going to assemble the frames right now. I'm just going to assemble the box, and we'll just do the frames later. I mentioned on the Premier box on how their end joints are dovetailed right here. That's a dovetail joint. On the Foxhound, they use what everybody's been using for years, a finger joint. And they assemble very easily, but the thing that you have to be aware of is that these tend to wiggle as you assemble them, and for that reason they're a little bit trickier to square out. It's not that it's hard or anything. As long as you have a square with you to check to make sure your sides are square, it works out fine. So I'm going to assemble this one real quick and show you how I do it. Now, you don't have to use pneumatic nailer like I use. I use a pneumatic stapler. It shoots a 1.5 inch staple, and it's just easier for me to do it that way. You can use a number of ways of doing it. But one thing I would recommend is that you place a staple or a nail pretty high to the top right here, because what these boxes have a tendency to do is to peel out. They'll peel over, in which case the frame sitting inside can actually fall off of this limb, or your lid won't close on it real good. So I make sure I staple or nail something very close to the top to help avoid that doing. So let's go ahead and assemble this one. Now I use a water-resistant glue. That I use Tight Bond 3 is what I use. That's what we use here in the shop. So it's just not gonna, the glue isn't going to break down in water. And I just put a little dab on the inside of that. That's all I need, because I figure the bees are going to propolize this stuff up in the end regardless. Alright, so put my box together, and now I'm going to shoot my nail in it after I put on my ears. Put on our ears. Grab our gun.
You must have sensitive ears.
Oh, this hurts my ears. I'm not deaf like you, Charlie. and then up at the top, and that'll catch that one. And we'll do the next one. Got to make sure you put the handle up to the top.
I was fixing to say, it'd be a little difficult picking it up.
Yeah, it helps to use a clamp to draw your boxes tight together. I'll use clamps. I'll definitely use clamps.
I agree. In case you don't have
It's not impossible, but you'll get a better job.
I agree.
Clamps everything tight. Now, with clamps, get it. Stop that. Good. Get your clamps in place. And now, let's see how square we got this thing. What do you think, Charlie?
I think it came out really nice.
Yeah, no problems there.
Good job.
Yeah, very good. All right. So, and you can see no staples are inside of our box, so that's really good. I got lucky.
Yeah, you were a straight shooter.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and assemble the other one, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And here is our Foxhound hive, all assembled, glued and assembled. I didn't do the frames, of course, but they're in the box. That'll be a nut. Charlie and I actually made a video 2 years ago. We assembled like, I don't know, a couple hundred frames.
It was quite a few.
We don't assemble frames anymore.
It took
But
us a while.
we use a little fixture. I'll include that link to that video in the description of this video of me and Charlie gluing up all those frames if you're interested in seeing how we did it. We made a little fixture for doing that, and it does help when you have a whole lot of frames. So here's theirs all assembled, and you will notice the difference in the joinery. Remember I said there that using this type of joint, the dovetail joint here, there's I think a 26% less end grain. So here on the end grain of this box, when they use a finger joint, you can see how big the grain is that's exposed for that capillary action to get in there and start decaying the wood. So you have it on this side as well as this side. And then on the Premier boxes, you only have the joint is on one side. So that's one of the reasons, and their joint is smaller and there's less joints that you see, so that's why you get less exposure to that. So also a difference, you can easily see the difference in the handle size. Let me get my tape, it's right here. Theirs is right at 4 inches, and Premier's at 5 3/4. So, you know, larger surface area to get your hand in there, or for in our case, to get our lift up inside of there. Our lift would still work in this because it'll fit, but this is just a small, nothing wrong with this at all. It's just a difference. Just like the joinery, the finger joint as opposed to a dove joint. It's just different approaches to the same problem or to the same product that's made. So we finished our Foxhound. The next one will be our Better Bee Beehive. So let's grab the box, pull it out over here, Charlie, open it up and see what they included in their Beehive kit. Oh, one more thing, because I did say that at the beginning, that as a beginner beehive, beginner beekeeper, it's not really necessary to have a honey super in the kit. You can always get the honey super in later on, but generally in the first year, you're not going to need it. You're just going to basically need your brood box, and that's what's included in this price. Oh, I guess you need to know how much they are. Let me get my piece of paper and I'll tell you. So the price for the Foxhound Beginner Beehive Kit is $199 for that, and it does not come assembled as the Premier one did, and it does not include a honey super on it as well. And like the Premier, it did not have a queen excluder, but that's because it didn't have a honey super on it. But all those things you can buy through them. So I will again include their website in the description of this video for those interested in looking at the options and prices on the Foxhound Bee Company. It's a great box, and I do love the fact that it's cypress. Great box. And this one's going to get dipped as well. At the same time, all of these are going to get dipped at the same time, and this one's going to really look great because that cypress wood is just such, the grain in it is so beautiful. It'll show up really good. All right, Charlie, our next one is the Better Bee box. So let's grab that one and put it up on the table and open it up. Our next one, Better Bees. This is their Beginner Beehive Kit, or one of them. They have many options, as do the Foxhound. The Premier, it's a brand new line, so they don't have a lot of options on that. But there's probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 different options for the Better Bee ones. Different configurations of brood boxes, honey supers. If you go online, and I'll include that's their site in the description, you can see all the options and the prices of them. So let's open up this one, Charlie, and find out what they have sent us. Oh, look at that. They sent me a little note too. Oh, that was one thing in the Better Bees, their kit, as you're going through the list, they have all the options, and you actually, the price, the final price is based on what your options, what you choose as your options, and they have different options for your lids, different options for your bottom board, different options for your inner cover, as well as the boxes, what grade of wood you're going to want to use, and for our purpose, I selected the Select because I like using boxes that do not have knot holes in them, primarily because knot holes will eventually open up, fall out, and then now you have another entrance to the hive. So I use Select grade wood on all of I choose that option. And then also for their foundations, they give you choice of color, wax. There's just a list of options. I'm telling you, there must have been at least 8 or 9 of them that you were able to do. And no, there's no special note. Just the options that I asked for, and they have them all circled. And I did opt with the unassembled because you can get them assembled as well, but you save yourself a bunch of money if you assemble them yourself, and you can get them painted. But I'm not interested in paint. I want them wax dipped, so not painted is one for me. So let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any. Yeah, and even on the telescoping cover, there's options of that plastic or galvanized. Lots of different options, and like I said, depending on the option that you choose, that's what you're going to get in your kit. Now, I will say this, based on the options that I chose for this kit, the price was $326.85. That's what it, with all the options that I wanted, that is the price of them. And so you can, that price will fluctuate. It just depends on what you want. So let's unbox this right now and see what options Mr. Ed chose. Obviously, I chose one with medium, so we have the medium frames right here because they're smaller. And let me move all this stuff. And also because I selected unassembled, they sent me 2-inch galvanized nails. These are some serious.
That's some serious nails.
These are serious nails. Mr. Ed don't like nails. Mr. Ed likes shooting staples. So we're not going to be using their nails that they sent me. Here is the foundation. And I don't know what type of foundation, whether it's Acorn, Premier, or their own. I don't know that. But you can see, look how heavily waxed it is. Look at the wax on that. And again, I'm not going to spend my time this morning assembling frames. This will all be stuff put on the side. So there's our foundation for our deeps. Oh, I forgot. One of the reasons why the price was $326 because in this option, I believe it has, and guessing from the number of frames, 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 2 honey supers included in this one as well. And you can see these as well are very heavily waxed. The bees will draw this stuff out so fast with all that wax on it. And I recommend anytime you put your foundation in, you wax it or have it waxed. And in the bottom of the box, we have the screen bottom board, and look at that, Charlie. They have the little tray in there. Is this one for mites? No, it's just a tray to cover up the screen bottom. And this is how they assemble theirs. It is all solid wood on this one. No plywood on this one. It's all wood, and it is screen bottom. And they did give you the nails to assemble the frames as well, which is why you have more nails for that, because there's actually 40 frames with this. All right, let's move this aside and we'll open up this box. All right, Charlie, let's open up the big box, and I know this is going to have our sides for our boxes, and I'm sure other goodies that I'm not thinking about right now. Maybe a queen excluder. We still don't have our sides for our deep frames yet, so all that's in there. All right, let's pull her out and see. All right, our first thing, here are our top bars for the frames. Also your bottom bars right there. All of this is just frames. Remember, there's 40 frames that come with this kit, so that's a big part of it right there. And then on the inside now we have our boxes, our sides for our boxes. Medium right there. Deep right here. And then we have our inner cover. That's masonite, it feels like. And they also have a tenon inside of theirs. I like the tenon. It gives a lot of strength to these corners, so when you pry them off, it'll come off without breaking. They also have a fly out as well, and an opening. I always place my honey jars on top of this to let the bees come out. Plus, when you take off your inner cover, you can see the bees up in there. But this is masonite, right? I think that's masonite. It looks like it is. And then our telescoping cover with a galvanized lid on it, plywood underneath it, and wood on the sides. And it is glued and stapled as well. Pretty nice. This is a solid box. I did not see a queen excluder, which I'm kind of surprised, but they didn't include a queen excluder. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble. Let me, at one point on these, you can see they've actually included pre-drilled nail holes. So you just stick your nail that they supplied into it and just drive it in. It is a finger joint, just like the Foxhound one. It's a finger joint, not a dovetail. And since I'm here, there is their handle size. It's a little compared to the Foxhound and the Premier. It's actually a little bit longer than the Premier, but it is not as deep. But it will work just fine. So let's get all of this stuff assembled. And since you saw me assemble this one already, you don't need to see that. I'll assemble all this stuff. Charlie, I may just go ahead and use their nails they supplied. And
Yeah, we'll see how that works out opposed to stapling.
Yeah, let's try it out. All right, let's do that. Well, Charlie said that, Jeff, go ahead and use them nails. Put them nails in there to show them how it's done. I don't like using nails, but Charlie convinced me I should be doing it this way. So.
Well, it came with the kit.
And it actually is really relatively easy. These nails, they do drive really nice since they are pre-drilled.
Yeah, the starter hole's in there.
Oh yeah, that's what does it. If that starter hole wasn't there, Charlie, it wouldn't work.
I would be drilling holes. Mr. Ed, wouldn't it be easier to lay the box over so you
Probably
can get
would be, Charlie, but you know, I never do things the easy way.
He makes work for himself.
Yeah, but I want to have a good shot for you on the video, Charlie. You know, to let them see how that works.
Now you're working. Oh, see the difference? Gotta teach that boy everything.
You can see, if I can do this, you could do it.
I would hit my finger with that hammer.
Well, you don't see my finger around the nail, do you, Charlie? This is the only one that's kind of scary because it's real small, thin wood, but it's pre-drilled. And remember, I said earlier how these top bars have a tendency to flip back. And by putting that nail in that spot right there, that is never going to happen.
Oh, wait, I can't quite see what we're talking about here. You're saying that that's a lot
right here,
thinner. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so because of that, the wood, as the box ages, starts to warp out. And having a nail, or like I did over there, putting a staple in there, that will prevent that wood from bowing out on you, warping out on you. It won't do it down here. It'll just do it right here where it's narrow.
Where it's narrow.
Right. But we've got nails in the tops right here. That ain't going to happen again. All right.
Very nice.
So you saw me do it. Let me finish doing it. And here is our Better Bee Beginner Beehive Kit. All assembled. And thanks to Charlie, I actually put in all of these nails because Charlie shamed me into doing that. He says, we got the nails, put them in. So it really wasn't that difficult to put the nails in. And again, we did use clamps to get the boxes drawn up, but it went together very, very well. And on this one, as you can see, there included 2 honey supers, no queen excluder, 2 deep, all the frames for your deep, so it's 20 deep frames, 20 medium frames, honey frames, and they're all heavy waxed boxes, foundation. So that's this kit. And remember, I said the options make the price varied. So for me, on all the options that I selected on this one, like I said, the total price was $326.85. So remember, you get one more medium than the Premier, and 2 more mediums than the Foxhound. So the price is always going to fluctuate, but this one, so far, we've had the most medium supers. Now, on our next hive that we're going to be using in this comparison, it is going to be totally different. And so let's go and reveal that surprise right now. And here is our final kit, and this one really is a surprise because, well, let me just open it up and show you what the surprise is, because it is a little bit different than the ones that we've already done. And you can probably guess, simply because it's only one box, that these do not come assembled. And this kit comes from Hive IQ. And what's unique about this kit, it is a polystyrene hive. This is just awesome. I was really intrigued. I've spoken to Nat at conferences in the past. In fact, he was in Louisiana conference back in December, and I saw the hives there. And what's different about this type of hive, the polystyrene and wood, is the insulating value of it. Wood is like not even an R1, and these, because the material that they use in it has an R value of 7, about 7 in the boxes, and in the lid 10. Another advantage with the polystyrene is the ability that moisture doesn't build up inside of them, which is a really great thing. Now, let's go ahead and pull out this box, Charlie, and see what we got. So, I mean, right away, this lid is pretty fine looking. We have I guess this is going to be a slide-in tray. A very, I'm sure, detailed book as to the instructions on the assembly of the hive. Now, there is a video that you can go online and watch, because Charlie and I just finished watching it because we wanted to look like we knew what we were doing when we assembled it.
Sure.
Because we'd never done this before. So, you can go online and do it. We'll try to make an attempt at doing it as well. But we do have a little bit of knowledge. And this kit, the one that I have for this one, it includes 2 deep supers and a medium honey super as well. I don't know what type of bottom boards, a screen bottom board, but their bottom boards are pretty special as well. And one thing I will say about the Hive IQ boxes is that the box that we did, the Cypress box over there, from Foxhound Bee Supply in Birmingham, Alabama, they are also a distributor of the Hive IQ. So you can purchase this hive from Foxhound Bee Supply as well. So, and when I was online looking, online, I think it was, the price listed was $279 on one price, but on the Foxhound website, it listed for $239. So $240 for this hive. And let me take it all out and show you what we got. And I love insulated hives. I'm a big fan of them because bees do better in insulated hives. I learned that from doing all the removals. There's a lot of pieces in here. A lot of pieces. And since I don't really know what they are, obviously we have sides right here and end pieces right here. And all of these plastic pieces right here, these are, well, you'll see what they're for. They go on to the sides of the box. Now, one thing that I did read about polystyrene is that it is UV degradable. So these pieces right here, they need to be painted. For the purpose of our video, I'm not going to paint them prior to it. I'm going to have to paint them afterwards. But I would recommend that prior to the assembly of your box, that it be painted, and it make it look a lot nicer than painting it afterwards. Because I'm not a very good painter, but if I can paint and then cover up, oh, I'm a pretty good painter then.
And what kind of paint do we put on there?
Oh, it says that you have to use a latex or a water-based paint to paint this.
Okay.
I guess you can't use an oil-based product, or else it would degrade or ruin the polystyrene. So then in the bottom, they have a really, really fancy bottom board. And I hope I'm going to give this video justice assembling this thing. Oh, one thing I will say about this box that is different, besides being polystyrene as to the box over there, the frames. This is only a 9-frame box. Now, I've always been told it's either 8-frame or 9 frames. That's our configuration. But the manufacturer, they did make 10 frames initially before they went into production, but then there was issues on shipping. It became difficult, and so they because the polystyrene is way thicker than wood, in all senses, the sides, everything is thicker about it, so they take up more space. So they couldn't get 10 frames in the same space, but the footprint of this hive is basically the same footprint as a 10 frame. However, it only holds 9 frames. Now, I was on the phone with one of the producers of the Hive IQ. In fact, Vic and I spoke for over an hour, and I'm sorry I never recorded that conversation with him, because he gave the most detailed information about the benefits of using insulated hives, particularly the Hive IQ. And I'm sorry I didn't have that to share with you, but you can look that stuff up, find it for yourself. But I am a big fan of insulated hives. So if I can get all this other plastic stuff out here. Oh, look, they even got us a queen excluder, Charlie. Look at that. And all this stuff. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was everything in the box. Now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to assemble the boxes, and they have all these little pieces right here. These are the corners of the back of the boxes. I don't know what those are. I know these are the corners because I saw those on the video. I assume these are all part of the bottom board. We have screws for the corner pieces, lots of them. And I don't know what this piece is either. But Charlie, I think you and I, maybe if we look at the book on the assembly of that bottom board, they might tell us a thing or two, huh, Charlie?
I think I'd go by the instructions.
Yeah. But for right now, all right, Charlie, maybe let's go ahead and assemble the bottom board first, and then we'll assemble.
Oh, I thought we were going to lunch.
No, Charlie, we still have a little while.
Oh, we have, okay.
About half an hour. There we go. Don't worry, Charlie, you'll get fed.
Go.
You know, guys hate reading instructions, or at least this guy hates reading instructions. But when it comes to this, I really do need to read the instructions. And the very, very first thing, and their first thing is the bottom as well. The very, very, very first step, they say, is paint the EPS hive base body. Painting the hive base body prior to the assembly will avoid getting paint on the metal and plastic parts of the hive body. Only paint the external surfaces exposed to the elements, as the bees will paint the inside of the hive with propolis if they decide it needed to be covered. And they say no enamel paint, no oil-based paint, and no aerosol paint. So that's the first step. All right, so we know, like I said, we're gonna paint this afterwards. I'm not gonna worry about getting it all pretty, but for the purpose of our video, I want to get it assembled and show you what it looks like. So, paint. First thing, paint. The second thing, Charlie, it says to place the aluminum hive floor, right here, into the recesses on the top side of the HB1 and screw the floor into place using 8 screws. So this is going to go in right there. They give you a number of different types of screws, and they label them, where you're supposed to use them. And so these are the hive base screws right here. You want to make sure you use the right screw in the right part.
That's why you need to read the instructions.
And as long as these screws seat, that's all you're going to want, because you don't want to strip these things out. That part's in, and the next part, place aluminum pollen blank cover. So I know that one of the options with this is you can put a pollen trap, and that would go in this spot, but since we're not having a pollen trap, we are just going to be putting the block into it. This one doesn't include it, but I know in this space you could put a pollen trap down here, and then there's a screen that covers it. But for right now, this is what we're using. All right, step 4, place the hive entrance into the hive recess. These move. All right, so.
Looks like they have little magnetic clips.
No, they're not
See
magnetic.
them?
Yeah, they sure
Right
are.
here.
Charlie, you are so observant.
Somebody has to be. You don't read instructions.
But I know this is the front of our hive, so it has to go on this side. I just can't figure out. There you go, maybe like that.
Go the other way.
Well, yeah, no.
Because you have to be able to open and close them.
Charlie, you are so smart, Charlie.
Like that. And then you can reduce your opening.
Yep. All right, so let's get our screws in there now. Good thing you're here, Charlie. And now, we could either have an entrance all the way closed off, or 2, or one, because your box is going to be sitting right here. So you have an entrance here. Now it's all the way closed off, or all the way, or one, this one, or one. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, next step, Charlie. It says, apply a small amount of general purpose exterior grade glue to the outer edge of the hive entrance and insert firmly into the locating holes on the upper front of the hive base. So now we have to put in these little things, Charlie, that you had. These right here. So all right, the next step, they say you got to put these little doodads in these slots right here. And the function of these things is to prevent your sides from falling down, so that this could be your one entrance right here. And this is going to be my primary use, is right there. It'll be open like that all the time. And then if you wanted to open up, say this one, you would turn this, and now you can keep that one down, and this one will keep that one. Or if you wanted the entire thing up, and now your whole entrance is open up. So that's what these little doodads they are right here.
Is that what it said, doodads on there?
Yeah, and they say to put a little bit of glue around the outside edges right here, and not to get any on the interior, because then that'll mess up your...
Won't be able to rotate it.
Yeah, you won't be able to rotate it. So just put a little bit of glue on the outside edge. Our next step is to put in our tray slides, and you have to flip the bottom board over, and one slips in here. They have these grooves set in them, and you just set your track into that. And then once they're in place, then we're going to put screws in it, at which point we'll then be able to slide our tray in there.
Good.
Now the next part of the assembly of the bottom board, it's got something to do with the future of this hive. Hive IQ is developing and has developed a hive monitoring system, and I'm not getting into that in this video. You're going to have to go to the Hive IQ and look at all the stuff. In fact, when I go visit them at Navi this year, it is one of the things I'll be talking with them about, is their monitoring system. But what I believe these little things are right here, which are included in the kit, these have a number, which is AAA 9234, and I think those are just the numbers of that would be associated with this hive, that when you enter into all that information in the monitoring system, that would be the reference to this hive. So these two little things right here, we're going to install them right now.
Basically, it's an identification tag.
A tag, yeah, that's what this is. And these will go right in the front of the hive, so now you know where its tag number, and then it's secured with these two screws. And that, I believe, is the whole... Yep, Charlie, that's it. We have now completed
The bottom board.
the bottom board. Look at that. Now it's time to assemble our boxes. And it is a little bit, you got to figure it out or read the instructions. So between the video and reading the instructions and a couple of minutes trying to sort out our pieces, I think we got it figured out. So we have, these are the pieces that will then be fitted onto your sides and your ends. And what I've done is I've separated it out into the top pieces that will go to the top of the box, side, bottom piece that goes to the bottom piece, and then you have corner pieces that will go on the top and corner pieces that go on the bottom. And then these right here, these are all fit on the ends of the boxes. These are the sides, these are the ends, and those go on after the whole box is complete. So I think we're going to try to figure it out on camera how we do this. And according to the video, that's the way that I'm going to be doing it. And these pieces simply slide on. Top's on. Now we can put our bottom piece on. And they will only go on in one way. You can't put them on wrong. And once you put them on, now we're going to put the bottom corner on, and it just simply slides in there. Then we push our side to it. We're going to turn it around. Add our next one. Turn it over. Just got to put them on the right way.
It works better that way.
Yeah, it does. And now that this one goes more over, there you go. There you go. The whole side is now complete. Now we're going to go ahead and assemble the other one, just like this one. What I didn't realize that on our corners for our sides, there is a right side and a left side. So you have to make sure you get the right side on the correct side on the correct side. That way they're definitely going to work. So you're going to want to put it in so that your screw hole is facing out. So when it goes onto your edge, it goes like that. And you just push them until there's like Charlie said, an index, but it'll only go so far on that. And we grab your other side of it. And then we're going to flip it over and do our
Those are the top pieces.
top piece. As long as our tabs are facing in, you're correct. Alright, so now we've got our two sides are now done. So now the next step is to put in our side pieces. And this is done, they use these tenons right here. They fit inside the mortise in the side, and you can see they just slide right in. So you have to make sure you put it in the right way. It'll only fit one way. Slide it in. Once that's done, now we're going to take our other side. And slide it in. Now that it's all in, we are going to now lock those in place, and we're going to use screws to go into these corners in all the corners. And those are special screws right there. And you want to make sure you get your sides tight. So I'm gonna actually put a clamp on these things to draw them in. You see I'm out a little bit right here. I don't think that's going to be enough to matter, but I'm going to use a clamp and tighten these things up. All right, our clamp is now on it, so now I know my sides are going to be tight up in there. Now that we have that side on, we can now finish and putting up our bottom trim on. So now this strip, it gets applied and it covers up the screws. There it is. So that's on there real nice and tight. So now let's screw the other side and put the trim on. And then we'll put our trim pieces on it. Yeah, these went on a lot easier than those bottom ones.
Yep, that was a little easier.
And so this is our frame rest right there.
There you go.
There you have it. Our first hive body assembled. Don't forget, you got to paint this before you do this. With that one done, I got 2 more to do, and then we'll show you we got to assemble the lid, and then that'll be all of that. All right, let me go do those other 2 boxes. We've got all of our boxes built, but in this kit, there's also included a queen excluder, and what's really nice about that is it just sits right here on top. Well, your frames will be in there, and it'll just sit right on top of your frames right there. And our honey super will just fit right on. Now our hive bodies are assembled. We only got one more thing to assemble, and that's our top cover. This is our last assembly of the cover. Pretty straightforward. I didn't even have to look at the instructions for this one. I could figure it out since we didn't have any other pieces hanging around. Sebo? That's a nice lid right there. And all of the boxes have this nice ridge around them on the interior where they actually lock into the box beneath it. So just as our box is interlock, so does our lid. So it doesn't come off of there. But still, I think when I set this thing up, I'm going to put a strap around it. I think they recommend that you do that because I still don't. I know the bees will propolis all that, but to me, I'd feel safer if I had a ratchet strap around this hive. All right, Charlie.
I have one question.
All right.
One question. Inner cover between the honey super and that.
Yeah, so there is no inner cover on this, and I'm assuming that because this is so close near down to the bottom that it's going to not allow that bee space from the top of our frames to this where they won't build the burr cover. That's what I suspect, since there is no inner cover.
We shall see.
We shall see. All right, so there's all of our hives, and let's wrap this video up, Sean. There is our beginner beehive kit lineup. We have our one from Premier Bee Supply, from Foxhound Bee Company, from Better Bee, and from Hive IQ. And every one of these hives comes with options when you buy them. And the price I'm going to tell you right now is the price as you see it right here. You can go to the website and basically build your own beginner beehive kit. But the one listed for Premier Bee, which is the single honey super, 2 deeps, all the frames, bottom board, and the inner cover, telescoping cover, with all the frames. And this is completely assembled, this whole box. You buy the kit This is how it comes. It's ready to be painted, wax dipped, whatever. It's ready to go. And that price is $264.95. I mean, this is ready to go. Our next contender in the lineup is the one from Foxhound Bee Supply. And they supply the cypress bee boxes. That's what they sell, is the cypress ones. That's their specialty. And with this one, it came with the telescoping, inner cover, all the frames, the 20 deep frames, bottom board, screen bottom board. And that one, and they use the acorn frames, and that one was $199.49 for this one. Our next one up is from Better Bee. And this one, we have a few more options on it, so of course it'll be a little bit more expensive. This one had the screen bottom board, 2 deeps, 2 mediums, 2 honey supers, telescoping cover, and an inner cover, and all the frames for this one. And this box right here is $327. Now, and then our final one, the Hive IQ, the insulated beehive, the R7 body with the R10 lid, the queen excluder. Remember, you got to paint these. This particular option that I've shown right here is $239.99 for this one. And Foxhound Bee Supply, who sells this one, they also sell this version of the Hive IQ from their establishment. And so that price of $239.99 is where that came from, was off of that. So some great choices presented today. It's each individual beekeeper, they're going to have to make the choice whether they want to go insulated, whether they want to have cypress box, whether they want the joinery of the dovetails of Premier, the box joints, the finger joints on the Better Bee, or the really special ones from Hive IQ. So I think that's a pretty good presentation of these 4 boxes. So Charlie, I'm going to ask you, which I really shouldn't. If you were to select one of these, which one would you select, Charlie?
Well, I would probably go with the cypress. I like cypress. I do.
I know, and that's part of the deal about the appeal of what Foxhound does. There are, I know the Amish make cypress boxes, and there's a company in Jackson, Mississippi. I believe it's Star Lumber.
It is Star.
They make a cypress box as well. But there's other places, but Foxhound does a very, very good job with theirs, and very competitive in pricing with all of them. All of them are very competitively priced. And as a beginner, it may be in your best interest to think about a kit as opposed to buying individual boxes and frames. You'll probably save a few dollars. And Charlie and I, we love saving money.
Absolutely.
But Charlie likes eating more than that.
Oh, well, yeah, you can tell. But all in all of these boxes are very, they're very good. And it's just a matter of what you prefer.
Personal choice. You can't go wrong with any of these boxes. So again, it falls onto the individual beekeeper and to what you prefer. And for a lot of beekeepers, the deciding factor is the cost of it.
Yes.
And you can go online and find Chinese-made stuff that it's relatively inexpensive, but again, you get what you pay for. And with all of these boxes that we present here today, it is quality stuff. You won't.
Every one of them.
They'll be here for years to come.
Right. Yep.
All right, Charlie.
I think that just about covers everything. I enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Keep on watching.
We'll be making more.
God bless, Mr. Ed.
And good time, Charlie.
We are out of here till when, Charlie?
The next video.
God bless everybody.